Welcome to Whole Being Health, Function, Vitality, and Mastery. So today we're going to talk about the power of saying no. Now it may seem like a weird concept. How would you get power out of saying no? Well, let's start with this. Babies are what we call egocentric. Basically, that means they think that everything in their environment is an extension of themselves. So if you are a parent and you are happy and you're laughing around your child typically thinks it's because of them. They're the reason why you're happy. If you're sad, if you're angry and you're angry at your husband or wife and you're arguing, the child thinks it's because of them. So they get unhappy also. So what you find is typically happy parents bring about a happy child because the child thinks that the happiness is coming from an extension of them. The time that the child actually thinks that they are a separate entity to their parents is when they learn to say no. When a child is given something and they start to say no and they push things away, they have now learned that there's a separation between themselves and another, being their parents or people around them. So they start to learn that they are an individual, and that's when the ego is formed. See, the thing is, people keep thinking that the ego is a bad thing. Oh, you're egotistical. Oh, you got a big ego, man. The ego is simply saying I am. So when your ego is formed, you become an individual. You start to separate yourself from other people. So healthy egos are fantastic for us. The problem is when your ego almost gets in the way of your ability to accept information, conceptualize, and grow. So the goal is to have your ego support you. You see, the power of saying no, first of all, is the connection of the fact that you are saying you are a separate being and you can say yes or you can say no. So that's kind of like the formation of the power of saying no in relation to the ego. Now the other part of what I really want to talk about is how you get power from saying no. Now a lot of us, we are in this archetype of the savior, which is the rescuer or the healer or the teacher or the caregiver. And when you're a caregiver, you are walking a tightrope between helping people just enough so that they can help themselves, coaching rather than teaching, or you get to the point where people are dependent on you. It doesn't have to be a work thing, it can just be a friend thing where you're always there for people. And don't you notice that when you're always there for people, people get used to you always being there? Like if you wanna, people that often come up to you and borrow money. And you borrow the money for 2 weeks or whatever, and they come back. You got any more money? You got a £5, you got £10. You're helping the person out, but you're not teaching the person to become dependent on their ability to find a way out of a puzzle, to grow to the point where they don't need the money. So when you actually say no to the person, you are cutting off their ability to depend on you. So there's power in that, because you're giving that person the ability to have to find someone else to go to, or to have to change their circumstances. So that's the power that you give to other people unwantedly when they first think about it unwantedly. But you're actually forcing them to stand up on their own 2 feet. So that's the external version. The internal version is when you say no, you are now doing what I call sacred selfishness. You are focusing on your own personal development by only giving enough energy and information as you can be fully present with, and only being around as many people as your vitality speaks to you to be able to. So we are the saying, see as many people as you can be fully present with. So when you say no, when you don't want to increase your client list, that's taking back your power, because you're saying, no, that's enough. I'm too busy. If I do any more, I'll get tired. Another example is when your partner or friends are trying to get you to, come on, let's go smash that car, or let's play a game where we, bounce into that guy, or, you do something self-destructive and you're in a crowd of people and you feel that you have to do whatever they say to kind of stay in with the crowd. When you start to say no, you are making your own choice, separate from the influence of other people. So again, this power there, because now that helps to formalize your personal power and self-will. Now remember, your personal power and self-will is the ego formed, but it allows you to be a separate person that only does what you will to do. So that's my little talk today, a little brief one, just on the power of saying no. Remember, when you say no, that means you are inviting choice within yourself, because you are choosing to say no when you feel compelled to say yes. And remember, a compulsion is somebody else imposing their will on you, making you do something you don't feel comfortable doing or want to do or have the time to do. But when you say no, you take that power back and you make the choice your own. Hopefully that makes sense. Till next time, stay healthy, happy and whole, in whole being health. Peace.